Time flies by, doesn't it? Since the last recording, I'm a year older. Well, I've had a birthday. I know, no need to apologise, you forgot to send the card. Wedding anniversary? Yeah, she's still with me. The woman's mad. And all sorts of stuff been happening. I was told to ease off, so I did. I've eased off. Look, I've got a show next weekend. And I'm back in the shed. The weather's been great. There's not a lot to talk about, really. Not many questions this week. Some people, I'm remembering because I forgot to bring the list with me when I came out. And it's such a long way. It's at least 20 yards. So no exercise for me. Somebody wanted to know, how do you get to be good with a pack of cards? Well, that's real easy. I can answer that one easily. You should just get a pack of cards, as good as you can afford. Don't buy them plastic things. Awful. Usually the cards made on the side, you'll see it, US Playing Card Company, they're good cards. And you sit and watch the telly and you just play with the cards. Don't try to be clever in the beginning, just play with the cards. And what's happening then is your fingers are just getting used to the playing cards. And it's a great hobby. It really is. I know I've got an advert on the end of this for the magic shop and all that. And have a mooch around. It's really interesting. Can you make money with it? Yes, I did. And that depends on how far you want to take the magic game. The magic game is great. It can either just be a hobby for your family, your friends, you know, bore them to death, or you can make it into a fully blown theatrical experience. Yeah. I wonder why it is when you start to do recordings outside like this, there's always an aeroplane comes over. Because normally we don't get them, although that sounds like a helicopter. Yeah, it's woofing a bit. So there's some rich bitch around here, must have a helicopter, and they're coming in. So it's, no, it's not Debbie. So then you get your magic tricks. I remember I was in the army, and I arrived in Hong Kong, and I was broke. And by then, I mean, I was 18 then, and in the army I decided to, you couldn't take boxes of tricks and stuff, so I just put 2 packs of cards. In fact, I remember I got, on here in the army you had some, what you call it, hand grenade pouches. Part of your infantry training, you went to bed with hand grenades in here, you know, and you didn't sleep much, I'll tell you, in case you rolled over and pulled a pin out. But it was, I remember I got rid of one of the hand grenades and put 2 packs of cards in the top, because I figured if Hitler and his Teutonic hordes came back, I would attack. Pick a card, Adolf, I would say, and I'd get my own back, make them suffer with a pack of cards. But I used to just do what I just told you, just sit and play, and then eventually, of course, your fingers are that used to it, riffle shuffles and one-handed waves and all that, they all come really much easier, trust me. Well, I arrived in Hong Kong, I had no money at all, you know, just a squaddy, and I started doing tricks on the table. The lads would come over with us, knew me and knew I did tricks, shows a trick, Paul. I was doing a few tricks, and there was this Cockney lad, and he said, everything I did, he said, oh no, that's done. Oh no, that's done, you know. And it was patently obvious he didn't know. And he started to get up my nose a bit. So eventually I got him to pick a card. He shuffled them, he picked one, he put it back anyway, he shuffled them again, and I started to turn the cards over, you see. And this is a real old gag, it really is. And it was, and I got fairly well down, and I said, right, the next card I turn over will be yours. I'm telling you, it will not be yours. It will not be mine. And he was that adamant about it. I said, well, I'll bet it is. And I'll bet was just an accident. I didn't mean to take the fella's money. Honest. And so what happened was, he said, "I know it isn't. I'll bet you $100. Now don't get excited, that wasn't a lot of money, alright, it was 100 Hong Kong dollars. And I didn't have 100 Hong Kong dollars. One of the other lads said, "I'll cover that." And of course, I went back through the pack and turned the card over that was his, that had already gone past, so he thought I'd missed it. So yeah, you can make money out of magic. And then of course I started charging for shows and stuff like that. And one day I got a booking up on the Peak in Hong Kong, where all the rich people lived. And I didn't know you couldn't have two jobs, you know, like be a soldier and be a magician. So I remember the Chinaman asked me to do a show for his guest of honour, and I did not a show, a trick for the guest of honour. And a couple of weeks later I'm on parade, and along comes this fellow with the plumes on his head, who was the governor of Hong Kong, and it was the fellow I showed the card trick to. And he said, "Hello, Paul." Well, you should have seen the eyes on the commanding officer, the two eyes that bulged, you know. And "I didn't know you were in the army, Paul. You simply must come up for tea sometime." And all you're allowed to say in the army is, "Sir!" So I'm shouting, "Sir!" you know, to this fella. And off he goes, followed by the commanding officer, the two IC, the adjutant, and then the regimental sergeant major, who just said, "My office." So of course, straight after the show, after the parade, I went in his office, and he's writing away as they do. And then he looked up, stood up, walked slowly round me, and right in my face said, "Hello, Paul." And I knew I was going to die. And he went round again. "I didn't know you were in the army, Paul. You simply must come up to..." "How the hell do you know the governor of Hong Kong?" And it sounds stupid. I never thought about it at the time. I said, well, I was showing him some card tricks. And this brilliant regimental sergeant major, who really was the man I wanted next to me if there was another war, RSM Calvert, his name was, he sentenced me to do shows in the sergeant's mess, from which I did the officer's mess and then the NAFI, and I finished up doing loads of shows in the army. And years later I went out to Desert Storm. Where else did we go? Croatia. I went to down to the Falklands, Cyprus. I've done shows for the army. I like doing shows for the lads. And now, of course, the lasses. Any road up, I suppose I'd best get back in and pretend I'm doing some work. I'm going to make a boom today to go across the front end of Mid Creek and stop all the rubbish drifting up. So I'll be busy. Shame you won't be there. Bye.